Well, it's Ronnie Ward from the Ditmas section of the Flatbush neighborhood, Brooklyn, in the city of New York. It's Monday. Here's where it is. Monday, the 9:02 a.m. on Monday, July 21st. July 21st, Monday at 9:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to record off of this A16. I put a new SD card in this TCL, and I'm going to record this whole video. I am. Here we go. There it is. Starting at the beginning. It's 49 minutes and 5 seconds long. On my mark, the video I'm making right now will be 2 minutes plus 49 minutes and 5 seconds. On my mark, Ronnie Ward from the Ditmas section. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. On my mark, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Of the Flatbush. Ronnie Ward from the Ditmas section of the Flatbush neighborhood, Brooklyn, in the city of New York. It's Monday, the 21st day of July, 2025. Oh, I don't know. What time is it? Well, we'll see in just a minute. Yeah, in just a minute. Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Here's what time it is. 7:46 a.m. Yeah. And here's the thing. Top U.S. and world headlines, July 2nd, 2025. Posted to YouTube, July 2nd, 2025. 352,463 views. Here it is. Yeah. It says, explore the podcast. Transcript Democracy Now.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The United States Senate has approved a sweeping package of tax breaks for the wealthy and deep cuts to social programming, including Medicaid
13
and
minutes,
food assistance.
26 seconds.
On Tuesday, Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote to deliver a major legislative victory to President Trump.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
3 Republicans broke ranks to join all Democrats and independent senators in voting no. Senators Tom Tillis, Rand Paul, and Susan Collins.
Who are the 2 independent senators? Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Angus King of Maine. The United States Senate chambers
The legislation passed after a compromise was worked out with Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, despite her concerns it slashes social safety net programs. The Senate reconciliation bill also includes a historic increase in funds to ramp up Trump's mass detention and deportation efforts, deregulates AI and cryptocurrency industries, ends subsidies for renewable energy, and even imposes new taxes on solar and wind farms. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Oh, it's CBS. Well, they don't get to copyright the news. No, they don't.
People that are still talking about this, it's not.
No, they don't copyright the news.
Around $6 billion. Yeah, so they're
No, they don't.
I believe there's more pressing matters there.
They know what they're doing.
People were upset about them.
They know what they're doing.
It costs a lot of money to
Full knowledge of the hoax that this all is.
Embarrassing moment.
They all do. They do know.
You guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. Anybody here know what I'm talking about? What happened? What happened? All right, so you're
Well, you know how it is.
Warned of political consequences to Tuesday's vote.
Today's vote will haunt our Republican colleagues for
This is my Charles Schumer, Democrat Senator of New York, the minority leader. He's my United States Senator, along with Kirsten Gillibrand. Listen to what he says.
Mass detention and deportation efforts, deregulates AI and cryptocurrency industries, ends subsidies for renewable energy, and even imposes new taxes on solar and wind farms. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer warned of political consequences to Tuesday's vote. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The United States Senate has approved a sweeping
Look at it.
package of
They
tax
know what
breaks
they're
for
doing.
wealthy and
This is live right now, somewhere in New York City. Live. Happening right now at this minute. It is.
A major legislative victory to President Trump.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly
6
divided, the
minutes
Vice President votes in the
and
affirmative. The bill
40
as amended
seconds
is
on my
passed.
mark.
3 Republicans
Mark.
broke ranks to join all Democrats and independent senators in voting no. Senators Tom Tillis, Rand Paul, and Susan Collins. The legislation passed after a compromise was worked out with Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, despite her concerns it slashes social safety net programs. The Senate reconciliation bill also includes a historic increase in funds to ramp up Trump's mass detention and deportation efforts, deregulates AI and cryptocurrency industries, ends subsidies for renewable energy, and even imposes new taxes on solar and wind farms. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer warned of political consequences to Tuesday's vote.
Today's vote will haunt our Republican colleagues for years to come. As the American people see the damage that is done, as hospitals close, as people are laid off, as costs go up, as the debt increases.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates the Senate bill will add $3.3 trillion to the national debt over a decade. House members are rushing to return to the Capitol
Chris
to vote
Murphy.
the Senate-approved version of the bill ahead of a Trump-imposed July 4th deadline. We'll have more on this story after...
It said President Trump imposed a deadline to vote for July 4th, which was a Friday. Yeah, I left on July 4th in the morning and went to the Mohegan Sun Casino and went to the Stop and Shop in Norwich Town and went from Mohegan Sun Casino by ambulance to Bacchus Hospital. I traveled on 2A and 395 and spent the night at Bacchus Hospital. Left the hospital after I had lunch there and walked to Stop and Shop in Norwich Town. I did. Time for a break? No, it's not.
Headlines. Here in New York, election officials have declared Zohran Mamdani the winner of last month's Democratic primary for New York City mayor. Tuesday's release of ranked choice voting results show Mamdani, a New York State Assembly member and Democratic Socialist, easily defeated second-place finisher and former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo with 56% of the vote compared to Cuomo's 44%.
Andrew Cuomo was the governor when COVID started in New York, and then his lieutenant governor, Kathy Hochul, became governor, I guess. And de Blasio was the mayor of New York when COVID started, and then he left office so that Adams could become the mayor. And he's still the mayor, Adams is. De Blasio and the mayor of Chicago ended up doing what? Getting high-paid positions at Harvard University and are still there.
Mamdani won with 545,000 votes, more than 27 U.S. senators received in their most recent elections. On Tuesday, President Trump threatened to arrest Mamdani over his campaign pledge not to cooperate with federal immigration agents carrying out Trump's mass deportation orders.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. A lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at everything.
In a statement, Zohran Mamdani condemned Trump's threat as an attack on democracy and pledged, quote, "We will..."
This was in New York City. He's standing in New York City. Mamdani is. Zohran Mamdani
will not accept this intimidation. Mamdani also spoke with TV station New York One.
What we're seeing in President Trump's rhetoric is an attempt to focus on who I am, where I'm from, what I look like, how I sound, as opposed to what I'm actually fighting for. Because to do so would be to
It's not illegal to discriminate on any of these things, what he looks like and how he sounds, or no. They're very smart people, these liars, like this guy. He's a liar.
It's right now.
He's a liar. He's profiting from this.
Tomorrow morning at step
It's news, entertainment news.
Many of you are going to wake up to 50s north of New York City, low 60s in portions of New Jersey, in the city, down about 64, coolest in almost a month. But today it's all about the sunshine, low humidity, hope you can spend some time outside, highs low 80s. But get this, 90s are on the way, Mary, by the end of the week.
Tony, thank you. Your local news continues on CBS News New York, our streaming channel. I'm Mary Calvi. CBS Mornings returns in just a moment with Billy Porter and his return to Broadway.
This portion of CBS News New York is sponsored by Ray Moore and Flanagan. Get peace of mind with your
lay the stark contrast in our sincerity and actually delivering for the very working people who've been left behind by our politics.
In Gaza, Israeli forces have killed at least 43 more Palestinians, including people seeking aid in displaced families sheltering in tents. Al Jazeera reports in just 5 weeks, Israel's killed at least 600 Palestinians as they sought aid at distribution sites run by the militarized U.S. Israeli-backed so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This comes as Gaza's largest hospital, Al-Shifa, has exhausted its supplies of fuel to run generators due to Israel's ongoing blockade. At least 350 kidney failure patients in Gaza face imminent death as Al-Shifa doctors Tuesday were forced to shut down the hospital's dialysis ward. Israel's continuing slaughter and blockade came as President Trump claimed Israeli officials have agreed to finalize a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza, though Israel has not yet confirmed its approved conditions for a new.
A 60-day ceasefire would go to September 2nd or so. Yep.
Deal. A new study finds the Trump administration's halt to foreign assistance through the U.S. Agency for International Development.
USAID.
15 million additional deaths by 2030. Researchers publishing in the British medical journal The Lancet compared the impact of the Trump administration's cuts to a...
I think The Lancet is really a French publication, but Amy Goodman, it's news. She can report it how she wants, and it's not copyrighted. No, it's not. There's nothing on this video that's copyrighted. So, this entire video will be posted up with no copyright.
Pandemic or major armed conflict, warning, quote, unlike those events, this crisis would stem from a conscious and avoidable policy choice, one whose burden would fall disproportionately on children and younger populations, and whose consequences could reverberate for decades, unquote. The study was published as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio celebrated the end of USAID on Tuesday, writing in an online post, quote, "We will not apologize for recognizing America's long-standing commitment to life-saving humanitarian aid and promotion of economic development abroad must be in furtherance of an America First foreign policy," unquote. The Trump administration notified states Monday it's withholding $6.8 billion in funds designated for public schools. The money...
So, Monday would have been June, because this is July 2nd. Well, the 4th was on Friday. The 3rd was on Thursday. The 2nd was on Wednesday. The 1st was on Tuesday. So Monday was June 30th, 2025.
Was approved by Congress 4 months ago and due to be dispersed by July 1st ahead of the new school year. Instead, school districts and states are now scrambling to shut down.
The school year in New York City starts on August 1st, a Friday. It does. I just found out by watching the local news the other day. Yeah.
And services, including after-school programs and support for English language learners. The Trump administration has not said when or if it'll release the funds. In an email, standing commitment to life-saving humanitarian aid and promotion of economic development abroad must be in furtherance of an America First foreign policy, unquote. The Trump administration notified states Monday it's withholding $6.8 billion in funds designated for public schools. The money was approved.
$6.8 billion has been sequestered by Trump. He announced it on Monday, the 30th day of June. That's why Amy Goodman's reporting on it. New York City has a serious problem, because Hochul said schools will start on Friday, the first day of August, and that schools must have plans in place to eliminate cell phone and tablet uses and social media in schools. They must, Governor Hochul said. She's the Democratic mayor of New York, who was lieutenant governor to Mario Cuomo.
approved by Congress 4 months ago and due to be dispersed by July 1st ahead of the new school year. Instead, school districts and states are now scrambling to shut down services, including after-school programs and support for English language learners. The Trump administration has not said when or if it'll release the funds. In an email to states, the Education Department says it, quote, remains committed to ensuring taxpayer resources are spent in accordance with the president's priorities, unquote. A federal judge in Rhode Island halted the Trump administration's efforts to radically restructure the Department of Health and Human Services. On Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Melissa DuBose ruled HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s mass firing of staffers and his elimination of entire programs is likely unlawful, writing, quote, the executive branch does not have the authority to order, organize, or implement wholesale changes to the structure and function of the agencies created by Congress, unquote.
Well, this has now been cleared by the Supreme Court of the United States that the president, Article 2 authority executive, can do whatever he wants. Well, it has been now. Yeah. Well, here. Oh, my coffee's boiling. There's my stuff. Yeah. My little spoon. On my gas stove. My little light. Here's my little mint. It's me, my pseudonym, Ronnie-Dean-Ward, Ronnie-Dean-Ward, born St. Mary's Hospital, Galesburg, Illinois, raised 512 South Main Street, 2 trailer courts, Rolling Meadows, and another one by the Abingdon Pottery, 61410. Coffee can. There it is. Isn't this a nice spoon? It's really heavy. It's like a scientific spoon for experiments, I guess. That stopper in the sink is made in the People's Republic of China. 21 minutes on my mark. Mark. This video is on the SD card that I bought at Stop and Shop. I turn it off because I don't want to waste electricity, and I might not be able to cut it out right there. No, that's a utility bulb. It's out of the... There's a piece of cheese. It's out of the like stove. A mouse. I'm going to eat it. Well, like a mouse. Off the television.
RFK Jr. is seeking to eliminate 10,000 jobs while slashing
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
anti-smoking campaigns and food safety inspections.
The son of Robert F. Kennedy, the younger brother of John F. Kennedy.
President Trump toured Florida's new immigration jail dubbed Alligator Alcatraz Tuesday, flanked by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Alligator Alcatraz is a hastily built camp on an isolated airfield in the Everglades with massive tents.
There's Ron DeSantis,
Immigrants in cages with multiple bunk beds. Trump mocked.
who was a JAG attorney for the military and was in Guantanamo during the Bush administration, I guess. He's the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. I was in Florida. I was. I arrived in Florida by bus, Greyhound, on the 6th day of November, 2024, was imprisoned in the Palm Beach County Sheriff lockup prison and didn't get back to the Port Authority in New York City until January 10th, 2025. Yeah, I left New York on Sunday, the 3rd day of November, 2024, by train, Amtrak. I arrived in Washington, D.C. I went to the Embassy of the Sovereign State Nation of Hungary on the 4th day of November, 2024, and left later that night, early in the morning, before the polls opened on November 5th, 2024, Election Day, and was on a bus traveling before the polls opened on the East Coast, and made it to Florida after traveling all night long, all day long on the 5th, and finally made it to Titusville, Florida on the 6th day, or Wednesday, November 6th. That's the last time I've seen my mother. Marilyn Jean Nay Herrick was married to Ronnie Ward, Ronnie Ward, my father, and then married Robert D. Perdue. I saw my mother for a few moments on January 6th in Titusville. She paid for my lodging for Wednesday night and Thursday night. I took her birthday present, which was September 20th. It was her birthday. I saw her again for a few minutes, and when I checked out of my lodging that my mother paid for on the 8th day of November, I was homeless according to the laws of the United States of America. And I lived on the street, slept on the street. I didn't sleep in a bed until Thanksgiving Day, November 21st, when I was picked up in Florida, in West Palm Beach, and put in prison. I spent Christmas Eve on the street, sleeping, and on Christmas Day, 2025, I rode the Bright Line from West Palm Beach to Orlando, Florida, and then ended up in Macon, Georgia. I was homeless. I slept on the street all this time till I was in Atlanta. And I was in Atlanta on New Year's Eve, 2024, New Year's Day, 2024. President Carter died while I was in Atlanta. And somebody, through the kindness of their heart, purchased me a bus ticket after I left Macon, where I slept on the street, except when I stayed in a shelter. And then I left Atlanta and got back to Washington, D.C. on the bus while Carter was being laid in state, and then finally made it to the Port Authority on January 10th of 2025. Yeah. I went back to Washington, D.C. on April 8th, a Tuesday, the 7th day of the week of Liberation Day, which was April 2nd. My grandmother was born on April 1st.
Ruth Irma Nay Allen Herrick,
1910.
my grandmother, born April 1st, 1910.
It's just outrageous of what they've done to me. Ronnie-Dean-Ward, my pseudonym, which I have a video posted up about on my YouTube channel at RONNIEWARD for peace. It explains this stuff. My pseudonym is Aldo Dino Wardo. This is my cup. It's a Captain America cup. I bought it at the GameStop at the mall in Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn.
Detained immigrants saying they would have to learn how to fight alligators in order to escape. The jail surrounded by alligators, pythons, and other Everglades wildlife. Hundreds of protesters rallied outside in response.
A python is an invasive species that was brought to the United States to foul our wildlife purposely and intentionally to destroy our country. Pythons aren't indigenous to the United States. No, it's a long plot to destroy the United States of America by someone in some government somewhere or some people. It is.
This is Makosiki Leader.
We love our land, we love our water, we love our habitat, we love the trees, we love the immigrants. We think it's very wrong what they're doing.
Trump's visit came ahead of plans to transfer the first group of immigrants to the jail this week.
None of this is
The ICE jail is
copyrighted.
expected to hold up to 5,000 people awaiting deportation, costing an estimated.
See? This says that these people are traitors. That these people are all traitors. Of what? Traitors against the United States? On this truck? Really? Donald Trump's a traitor? Marco Rubio's a traitor? No, they're not traitors.
$450 million a year to operate. We'll go to Florida for more after headlines. The Trump administration's quietly transferred more immigrants to Guantanamo Bay U.S. Naval Base in Cuba, including nationals from China, Jamaica, Liberia, and the
Guantanamo,
United
people.
Kingdom. CBS News
What it
reports
looks like
that as
in
of
Cuba.
Tuesday, at least 54 immigrants are currently detained at Guantanamo. The Trump administration is suing Los Angeles, seeking to overturn the city's sanctuary policy, which Trump's Department of Justice claims is obstructing the enforcement of mass raids. On Tuesday, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass publicly condemned Trump's crackdown.
We know that Los Angeles is the test case, and we will...
Look at this. This woman is against the President of the United States. She's the traitor. California's Governor Gavin Newsom and this woman, the mayor of Los Angeles, they are the traitors.
stand strong. And we do so because the people snatched off city streets and chased through parking lots are our coworkers, our neighbors, our family members, and they...
She's telling the truth. Her neighbors, co-workers went and did these things on the public payroll. That's what she's saying, and she's correct. people on the public payroll. Yeah, neighbors and stuff. Her neighbors went and did these heinous things.
You're Angelinos.
This is the latest in a string of lawsuits the Trump administration's filed against other sanctuary jurisdictions, including New York, New Jersey, and Colorado. We'll have more on Trump's ICE raids later.
That means the president has filed suit against these Democrat strongholds who are leading the traitor. They're the traitors. Governor Murphy and Governor Hochul are traitors against the Constitution of the United States of America. Trump's filed suit. The Department of Justice has done it. Pamela Bondi, his Attorney General. That's right. I'm telling you the truth. Ronnie Ward, Ronnie-Dean-Ward, my pseudonym, Aldo Dino Wardo. This video I'm making, I'm going to have to use this tablet.
The tablet in my hand right now.
While it's playing.
TCL.
To post it up to YouTube with this.
I'm holding the TCL in my hand.
That's what I'm going to have to do. It's 33 minutes long. So it's going to take me an hour, over an hour, to make this video on this A16
this
Samsung phone. And then I'm going to have to use
this TCL tablet
and record it on this video. I'm making
this video there to record it on here.
Post it up.
The TCL, this TCL right here in my hand, in my left hand. This is my right hand.
A New York federal judge has temporarily
my right
blocked
hand.
the Trump administration's early termination of temporary protected status, or TPS, for over 500,000 immigrants from Haiti.
500,000 people are here from Haiti illegally. They're all living in my neighborhood, in my building, illegally. Yeah.
Well, earlier, Amy Goodman reported that about 500,000 more votes were obtained by Mondami than U.S. senators. Well, there's 500,000 people here from Haiti and islands, I guess, and other places. There's your 500,000 more illegals voting and participating in American elections that are in my building and in my neighborhood who flooded in.
Yeah, that's what I have to endure. I've endured this in this apartment. Since I moved in just before Halloween, October 2021. I've been in this apartment since October.
Here's my right hand.
2021.
I'm holding this TLC in my left hand. It's my right hand.
An organization called Housing Works. I found out I have a life estate here, meaning I can be here until the day I die. I don't pay the rent. No, the housing court in Kings County, the judge of the housing court, the judicial authority of the state of New York, made a ruling.
Here's my left
I
hand.
was sued in housing court for bad rent.
Now I'm holding the TLC in my right hand.
In Kings County.
There it
I
is.
went there about a month ago and got the printout from the clerk of the housing court. And the case had been dismissed and thrown out. I didn't have to pay any money because I don't have to pay money. That was adjudicated by the authority judicial. I have a life estate here. I do. What's included? The gas for the stove's included. The electricity.
That stove. There's a refrigerator. Commercial grade from GA.
I pay my electricity bill once a month. And what runs on electricity? It's air conditioner. That refrigerator. That Roku TV. That
General Electric.
That's all the electricity I use.
E.
That appliance. And that commercial grade refrigerator.
That one.
That's it. That's not very much electricity. So I pay it once a year. You can do that with Consolidated Edison. You can, and I have. Consolidated Edison provides electricity for the city of New York and Westchester County.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem had previously announced the relief would end in September, placing over 500,000 Haitians at risk of deportation. Judge Brian Cogan, who's a George W. Bush appointee, ruled the move was unlawful.
These Haitians live in this building. I have to face them every time I
Right outside that door.
have a life escape.
Yeah.
I do.
Right outside that.
They weren't here
Right outside that door in my building and in my neighborhood.
October of 2021. But since then, during the Biden administration, they've flooded into my neighborhood. I didn't have a problem, really, except for the intimidation. Nobody speaks to me. They won't talk to me. No. Until Thursday, July 3rd, when I went to Citibank just to get my Social Security money. And the bank officer in there called the New York Police Department. They came, slammed me against a wall, drugged me out of the bank, assaulted me right in the door to the bank and threw me out onto the ground. That's when I decided that on the morning of July 4th, that I would go to New London, Connecticut, just be with friends. I wasn't able to arrange that when I got there, so I ended up going to the Mohegan Sun and stayed there for a little bit, ate a crazy hamburger with potato chips all crumbled up on it with no condiments. Paid for that with the money I had, and that's when the ambulance came and took me to Bacchus Hospital, and I said that earlier. Yeah, that's how it is here in the city of New York. It's terrible what I have to endure.
Full in order, the relief remain in place until its scheduled end date of February 2026. The Supreme Court's rejected an appeal from order.
I'm not staying here until February 2026. No, I'm going to leave the United States and fly by plane at great personal risk to my safety and well-being and go to Frankfurt, Germany, where the largest consulate of any city in the world of the United States is. Then I'm going to Berlin. Ich bin ein Berliner. Then I'm going to go to Kaliningrad, an oblast of the Russian Empire, and stay there for a while, and eventually make it to Budapest. Yeah. Because I'm eligible for ancestral citizenship to the sovereign state nation of Hungary, which then gives me the rights and privileges as a Schengen treaty nation, which Hungary is, to travel to those countries. And my United States passport expires on the 14th day of March 2026, and it's good for 10 years. So it was issued on the 15th day of March 2016, otherwise known as the Ides of March, which commemorates or remembers the day that Brutus murdered Julius Caesar in the Roman Senate. Yeah, you can't get stranger than all of this bullshit. Really, you can't, but it's all true.
Oil and gas giant ExxonMobil to halt a record $14 million penalty for thousands of air pollution violations at its plant in Baytown, Texas, one of the largest petrochemical sites in the country. The case was filed in 2010 by Environment Texas and the Sierra Club on behalf of residents living nearby. The violations fell under the Clean Air Act, a federal law that limits air pollution from industrial emitters.
Richard Milhouse Nixon created the Environmental Protection Agency. He did. Before he left office. That's right. That's how involved this is. It's just outrageous.
The Trump administration's found Harvard violated federal civil rights law, saying the university failed to address reports of harassment of Jewish students on campus in response to Gaza Solidarity peaceful protests. This comes as the University of Pennsylvania's caved to Trump's demands to ban
The world has your
transgender
back,
athletes from
Harvard.
women's sport teams and erase the
The
records
world
set by
has
trans
your
swimmer
back,
Leah Thomas.
Harvard.
Thomas is a UPenn graduate.
The world has Harvard's
the
back.
2022 NCAA
Does it?
championship in the women's
Harvard
500-yard
Professors
freestyle.
Union.
The parent company of CBS News has agreed to pay $16 million to
The
settle a
Union
$20
of
billion
Professors.
lawsuit brought
Yeah, they're unionized.
There you go. Well, that's all on my behalf. Because I'm a citizen of the United States. So, $16 million to the U.S. Treasury to settle a $20 billion suit. Well, that's on the behalf of all USacans. It is. But it's of special significance to me.
Donald Trump, who objected to the way CBS News 60 Minutes edited an interview with his opponent, Kamala Harris. Paramount board chair and controlling shareholder Shari Redstone reportedly sought the settlement to ensure the FCC approves Paramount's $8.4 billion bid to merge with Skydance Media. In April, 60 Minutes' longtime executive producer Bill Owens resigned amidst disagreements over how to respond to Trump's lawsuit, saying he'd, quote, lost the independence honest journalism
Why
requires.
is he wearing a mic?
In May,
They're not journalists. They're entertainers. It's entertainment journalism or edutainment or edu-journalism. It's all entertainment. It's at the beginning of another video I posted up, 10 minutes long, that has a copyright violation on it. But you can see it at RONNIEWARD numeral 4 PEACE.
CBS News President, CEO Wendy McMahon also stepped down, saying in a parting memo, quote, the company and I do not agree on the path forward. And here in New York, jurors have reached a verdict in all 4 but 1 count in the crimes trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The judge overseeing the case said jurors had unanimously agreed on 4 counts. 2 on counts of sex trafficking and 2 prostitution charges, but remained deadlocked over racketeering charges. Prosecutors accused Combs of repeatedly assaulting several women, drugging and coercing women and men to perform sexual acts, and being part of a criminal organization that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor,
That's called a RICO. 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 A law passed during Watergate. Nixon again. And Watergate. I'm all wrapped up in this somehow too. Because I'm a USacanian. My citizenship is United States. My nationality is United States of America. That's what it says on my passport. Nationality. United States of America, not American. My nationality is United States of America. Well, what do you call somebody who's, if you're from the sovereign state nation of Hungary, you're Hungarian. If my nationality is United States of America, well, I call it USACAN, because I don't know what else to call it. It's federal court. Federal court, because of the drawings. That's how you know it's a federal court.
Kidnapping, arson, bribery, and other crimes since at least 2008. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman in New York, joined by Democracy Now!'s Juan Gonzalez in Chicago. Hi, Juan.
Well, Juan Gonzalez is in Chicago, Illinois. I watched this program. I watched First Post, and out of India in English language, and I have to be careful about where I get news.
Hi, Amy, and welcome to all of our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download
This station, which is broadcast over the air, is supported by viewers. They get no federal funds or any state funds. It's all paid for privately. That's right. Completely privately paid for. They owe nothing to anyone but their patrons. Not Patreon, but their patrons who support this Democracy Now! democracynow.org. The War and Peace Report. Over 20, 30, 40, 50 years this has been on.
Download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more.
On my mark, 49 minutes. Mark.
On my mark, 52 minutes and 10 seconds. Mark! Ending at 52 minutes, 15 seconds. End.